Jersey, officially the bailiwick of Jersey, is a British Crown dependency, a possession of the Crown in right of Jersey, off the coast of Normandy, France. The bailiwick consists of the island of Jersey, along with surrounding uninhabited islands and rocks collectively named Les Déroulés, Les Écrins, Les Minquiers, Les Pierres de Lec, and other reefs. Jersey was part of the Duchy of Normandy, whose dukes went on to become kings of England from 1066. After Normandy was lost by the kings of England in the 13th century, and the ducal title surrendered to France, Jersey and the other Channel Islands remained attached to the English crown. Jersey is a self-governing parliamentary democracy under a constitutional monarchy, with its own financial, legal and judicial systems, and the power of self-determination. The island of Jersey is the largest of the Channel Islands. Although the bailiwicks of Jersey and Guernsey are often referred to collectively as the Channel Islands, the Channel Islands are not a constitutional or political unit. Jersey has a separate relationship to the British Crown from the other Crown dependencies of Guernsey and the Isle of Man. It is not part of the United Kingdom, and has an international identity separate from that of the UK, but the United Kingdom is constitutionally responsible for the defence of Jersey. The Commission have confirmed in a written reply to the European Parliament in 2003 that Jersey is within the Union as a European territory for whose external relationships the United Kingdom is responsible. Jersey is not fully part of the European Union but has a special relationship with it, notably being treated as within the European Community for the purposes of free trade in goods. Toponymy. Origin of the name. The Channel Islands are mentioned in the Antonine itinerary as the following: Sarnia, Caesarea, Bas, Scylla and Andium, but Jersey cannot be identified specifically because none corresponds directly to the present names. The name Caesarea has been used as the Latin name for Jersey since William Camden's Britannia, and is used in titles of associations and institutions today. The Latin name Caesarea was also applied to the colony of New Jersey as Nova Caesarea. Andium, Agna and Augia were used in antiquity. Scholars variously surmise that Jersey and Jerry derive from Jarth or Jal, or perhaps a personal name, Guy. The ending A denotes an island. History. Jersey history is influenced by its strategic location between the northern coast of France and the southern coast of England. The island's recorded history extends over 1,000 years. La Côte de Saint-Brelard is a Paleolithic site inhabited before rising sea levels transformed Jersey into an island. Jersey was a center of Neolithic activity, as demonstrated by the concentration of dolmens. Evidence of Bronze Age and early Iron Age settlements can be found in many locations around the island. In June 2012 it was announced what could be Europe's largest hoard of Iron Age coins had been found in Grouville by two persons using metal detectors. The hoard may be worth up to £10 People had been searching for this treasure for 30 years. It was reported that the hoard weighed about 3/4 of a ton and could contain up to 50,000 Roman and Celtic coins. In 2012 the same two men had found 60 Iron Age coins in the same area. Additional archaeological evidence of Roman influence has been found, in particular at Les Landes, the coastal headland site at Le Pinnacle, where remains of a primitive structure are attributed to Gallo-Roman temple worship. Jersey was part of Neustria with the same Gallo-Frankish population as the continental mainland. Jersey, the whole Channel Islands and the Cotentin Peninsula came formally under the control of the Duke of Brittany during the Viking invasions. Because the King of the Franks was unable to defend them, however, they remained in the Archbishopric of Rouen. Jersey was invaded by Vikings in the 9th century. In 933 it was annexed to the future Duchy of Normandy, together with the other Channel Islands, Cotentin and Avranches, by William Longsword, Count of Rouen, and it became one of the Norman Islands. When William's descendant, William the Conqueror, conquered England in 1066, the Duchy of Normandy and the Kingdom of England were governed under one monarch. The Dukes of Normandy owned considerable estates in the island, and Norman families living on their estates established many of the historical Norman French Jersey family names. King John lost all his territories in mainland Normandy in 1204 to King Philip II Augustus, but retained possession of Jersey and the other Channel Islands. In the Treaty of Paris, the English king formally surrendered his claim to the duchy and ducal title, and since then the islands have been internally self-governing territories of the English-British Crown. In the late 16th century, islanders travelled across the North Atlantic to participate in the Newfoundland fisheries. In recognition for help given to him during his exile in Jersey in the 1640s, Charles II gave George Carteret, bailiff and governor, a large grant of land in the American colonies in between the Hudson and Delaware rivers, which he promptly named New Jersey. It is now a state in the United States of America. On 6 January 1781, a French invasion force of 2,000 men set out to take over the island. Only half of the force arrived and landed. The Battle of Jersey consisted of 9,000 men defending the island, and although touch and go, and decisive, only lasted about half an hour. There were about 30 casualties on each side, and 600 French prisoners were taken. Both commanders were slain. Trade laid the foundations of prosperity, aided by neutrality between England and France. The Jersey way of life involved agriculture, milling, fishing, shipbuilding, and production of woolen goods. 19th-century improvements in transport links brought tourism to the island. During World War II, some citizens were evacuated to the UK but most remained. Jersey was occupied by Germany from 1 July 1940 until 9 May 1945, when Germany surrendered. During this time the Germans constructed many fortifications using Soviet slave labor. After 1944, supplies from mainland France were interrupted by the D-Day landings, and food on the island became scarce. The SS Vega was sent to the island carrying Red Cross supplies and news of the success of the Allied advance in Europe. The Channel Islands were one of the last places in Europe to be liberated. Politics. Jersey's unicameral legislature is the assembly of the states of Jersey. It includes 51 elected members, 10 senators, 12 constables and 29 deputies, all elected for 4-year terms as from the October 2011 elections. There are also 5 non-voting members appointed by the Crown: the bailiff, the Lieutenant Governor of Jersey, the Dean of Jersey, the Attorney General and Solicitor General. Jersey has one of the lowest voter turnouts internationally, with just 33% of the electorate voting in 2005, putting it well below the 77% European average for that year. The government is a council of ministers, consisting of a chief minister and 9 ministers. Each minister may appoint up to 2 assistant ministers. A chief executive is head of the civil service. Some government functions are carried out in the island's 12 parishes. The bailiff is president of the state's assembly, head of the judiciary and as civic head of the island carries out various ceremonial roles. As one of the Crown dependencies, Jersey is autonomous and self-governing, with its own independent legal, administrative and fiscal systems. In 1973, the Royal Commission on the Constitution set out the duties of the Crown as including ultimate responsibility for the good government of the Crown dependencies, ratification of island legislation by order in council, international representation, subject to consultation with the island authorities before concluding any agreement which would apply to them, ensuring the islands meet their international obligations, and defense. Queen Elizabeth II reigns in Jersey as Queen of the United Kingdom and her other realms and territories. The Dukedom of Normandy was surrendered to France by the Treaty of Paris in 1259. The Crown is defined by the law officers of the Crown as the Crown in right of Jersey. The Queen's representative and advisor in the island is the Lieutenant Governor of Jersey. He is a point of contact between Jersey ministers and the United Kingdom government and carries out executive functions in relation to immigration control, deportation, naturalization and the issue of passports. Since September 2011, the incumbent Lieutenant Governor has been General Sir John McCall. Legal system: Jersey is a distinct jurisdiction for the purposes of conflict of laws, separate from the other Channel Islands, England and Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Jersey law has been influenced by several different legal traditions, in particular Norman customary law, English common law and modern French civil law. Jersey's legal system is therefore described as mixed or pluralistic, and sources of law are in French and English languages. Although since the 1950s the main working language of the legal system is English, the principal court is the Royal Court, with appeals to the Jersey Court of Appeal and, ultimately, to the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council. The bailiff is head of the judiciary. The bailiff and the deputy bailiff are appointed by the Crown. Other members of the island's judiciary are appointed by the bailiff. Parishes: administratively, Jersey is divided into 12 parishes. All border on the sea. They were named after the Christian saints to whom their ancient parish churches were dedicated: Grouville, St. Brelade, St. Clement, St. Helier, St. John, St. Lawrence, St. Martin, St. Mary, St. Wen, St. Peter, St. Saviour, Trinity. The parishes of Jersey are further divided into vingtaines, divisions that are historic. Today they are used chiefly for purposes of local administration and electoral constituency. The connétable is the head of each parish, elected at a public election for a 4-year term to run the parish and to represent the municipality in the Assembly of the States of Jersey. The Procureur du Bien Public is the legal and financial representative of the Parish Law 2003, formerly an assembly of electors of each parish, elected the procureurs in accordance with the Loio Sudet des Assemblées Paroissiales. A Procureur du Bien Public is elected for 3 years as a public trustee for the funds and property of the parish and may contract when authorized by a parish assembly. The parish assembly is the decision-making body of local government in each parish. It consists of all entitled voters of the parish. Each parish elects its own force of honorary police consisting of centeniers, vingteniers and constables' officers. Centeniers are elected at a public election within each parish for a term of 3 years to undertake policing within the parish. The centenier is the only officer authorized to charge and bail offenders. Formerly, the senior centenier of each parish deputized for the connétable in the state of Jersey when the connétable was unable to attend a sitting of the States. This function has now been abolished. International relations: although diplomatic representation is reserved to the Crown, Jersey has been developing its own international identity over recent years. It negotiates directly with foreign governments on matters within the competence of the States of Jersey. Jersey maintains the Bureau de Jersey in Caen, France, a permanent non-diplomatic representation, with a branch office in Rennes. A similar office, the Maison de Normandie in St. Helier, represents the Conseil Général of Manche and the Regional Council of Lower Normandy. It also houses the Consulate of France. In July 2009, a Channel Islands tunnel was proposed to connect Jersey with Lower Normandy. Jersey is a member of the British-Irish Council, the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association and the Assemblée Parlementaire de la Francophonie. Jersey wants to become a full member of the Commonwealth in its own right. International identity: in 2007, the Chief Minister and the UK Lord Chancellor signed an agreement that established a framework for the development of the international identity of Jersey. In January 2011, the Chief Minister designated one of his assistant ministers as having responsibility for external relations. He is now often described as the island's foreign minister. Tax information exchange agreements have been signed directly by the island with several countries. Relationship with the European Union. Jersey is neither a member state nor an associate member of the European Union. It does, however, have a relationship with the EU governed by Article 335 TFEU, giving effect to Protocol 3 to the UK's Treaty of Accession in 1972. However, Jersey does not appear on the list of European states and territories outside the Union and the communities prepared by the European Council and the Commission. This is a result of the manner of implementation of the treaty arrangements under the Act of Accession in 1972. It is easier to understand the present relationship on the basis that Jersey would have been fully within the European communities, like Gibraltar, being a European territory for whose external relations the United Kingdom was responsible, but that is limited to the Protocol 3 arrangements under Article 355 TFEU to reflect the then existing relationship with the United Kingdom. Under Protocol 3, Jersey is part of the European Union Customs Union of the European Community. The common customs tariff, levies and other agricultural import measures apply to trade between the island and non-member states. There is free movement of goods and trade between the island and member states. EU rules on freedom of movement for workers do not apply in Jersey. However, Article 4 of the Protocol requires the island's authorities to give the same treatment to all natural and legal persons of the communities. In Pereira, the ECJ held that the scope of this article included any matter governed by the treaties in a territory where the treaties are fully applicable. The island is therefore within the scope of the treaties to a limited extent, as a European territory. To infer, as the French ambassador and finance minister have attempted to argue, namely that the island is outside the European Union and communities without qualification, is therefore simplistic, in law false. The French blacklisting of the island had to be hastily revoked when this was pointed out. As a result, Jersey is not part of the single market in financial services. It is not required to implement EU directives on such matters as movement of capital, company law or money laundering. However, the island's close proximity and its close association with the financial sector of the UK has come under increasing scrutiny in recent years, with several mainline publications labelling the island a tax haven. British citizens who have only a connection to Jersey, and not with the United Kingdom or another member state of the European Union, are not considered by the Jersey states to be European Union citizens. They have islander status, and the Jersey-issued British passports are endorsed with the words "the holder is not entitled to benefit from EU provisions relating to employment or establishment." However, it is not yet clear whether the citizenship rights in Articles 18 and 21 TFEU are partly available to them as British citizens, given the limited restriction of their rights under Article 2 of the Protocol. That restriction on the exercise of certain freedoms does not apply to all community or union rights. The freedom of movement under the prior EC regime was and remains a separate set of rights from the citizen rights under Article 20 and 21 TFEU, which include the right to move and reside. Those rights are primary citizenship rights, not of mere freedom. It might not need a treaty change to perfect this, merely a preliminary ruling from the CJEU, and supplementary implementation measures from the Council. Given the effective right of entrance and residence granted to EU nationals via Article 4 of the Protocol, Jersey residents presently do not have a right to vote in elections for the European Parliament. Jersey and Guernsey jointly opened an office in Brussels in 2010 to promote their common interests with European Union institutions. Separation debate. The question of an independent Jersey has been discussed from time to time in the Assembly of the States of Jersey. In 2005 to 2008, a working group of the States of Jersey examined the options for independence, concluding that Jersey is equipped to face the challenges of independence, but making no recommendations. Proposals for Jersey independence continue to be discussed outside the states. In October 2012, the Council of Ministers issued a common policy for external relations that noted that it is not government policy to seek independence from the United Kingdom, but rather to ensure that Jersey is prepared if it were in the best interests of islanders to do so. On the basis of the established principles, the Council of Ministers decided to ensure that Jersey is prepared for external change that may affect the island's formal relationship with the United Kingdom and/or European Union. Geography. Jersey is an island measuring 118.2 square kilometers, including reclaimed land and intertidal zone. It lies in the English Channel, about 12 nautical miles from the Cotentin Peninsula in Normandy, France, and about 87 nautical miles south of Great Britain. It is the largest and southernmost of the Channel Islands, with a maximum land elevation of 143 meters above sea level at Washington, 57795067008.